No, we do not have another pet, but we did finish our little Syrian hamster Scarlet's cage. So there will be a video more on how we built this cage, as well as a video showing us building the cage, just like we did with the guinea pig cage and the rabbit cage. But I thought that before it got too late, it would be a good idea to do our Christmas themed cage tour. And I'm sorry that some of these cage tours aren't going up before Christmas, but Mr. BB and I decided a few days before Christmas that we were going to build Scarlet her new cage so that everybody had their new housing all done in time for the holidays. And so we've been very busy getting this together, and she moved in on Christmas Eve night. So that was really exciting to have her in her new home for Christmas. So this is a DIY cage, and her old cage was sufficient for space. But if you guys have been following me for a while, especially on Facebook and Instagram, then you know that I've mentioned several times that Scarlet is one hyper hammy, and I've never had a hamster with quite as much energy as Scarlet. And because of that, the 588 square inch cage she was housed in before just didn't seem like enough. She had lots of space, and I always have her out when she's up, but the problem is Scarlet has very odd hours. So sometimes Mr. BB and I are up until 1 in the morning watching a movie, and we don't see Scarlet at all. And then other nights she's up at like 8 or 9 o'clock. Some mornings when Mr. BB goes to work, she's awake. I can hear her on her wheel down here. So she has very different hours. And so because of that, because I can't always bring her out because I'm not always awake when she's up, we wanted to make sure that she had as much space as possible. So her new cage is 16 inches by 49 inches, which gives us a grand total of, I think it was 782 square inches. I'll put the actual dimensions and the square inches below for you. As you guys probably know, the North American standard is 360 square inches. So either way, she has a ton of space in her new home. Her home is constructed out of plexiglass and melamine, just like our guinea pig cage. And I will show you guys there's lots of ventilation up at the top, so don't worry about that. Mr. BB also built a nice storage area underneath the cage. I just haven't had time to find baskets that will fit in there and figure out what I'm going to keep down there. And he's also put it on legs for me because I didn't want her right on the floor. I just thought this way it gets her cage a little up off of the ground. And she's just housed in the spare room of our house. So just running across the front of Scarlet's new cage, she has this Merry Christmas banner. And a lot of these decorations you guys will probably recognize from last year, and this was one of them. I just love this banner so much that I had to put it up again. And just to the left of that, she has her plaid stocking. On the top left corner of her cage, I keep her food, so she has a seed mix. And this is a mix of a variety of different foods because I can't find any that are really recommended in our local pet stores. And then she also has a treat jar. And Scarlet doesn't get treats very often, but once in a while I do like to give her a few. So the lid on this cage actually opens in 2 pieces, which is why Mr. BB put 2 handles on each lid, and then you can see hinges on the back. So I'll just show you guys how it opens. And this means it's really easy for me to have access to Scarlet and get into her cage and move things around and clean, while also making the lid not too heavy for me because it's divided into 2 sections and it's still really easy to open. So one of the lids we kept completely solid, and that's because we put a second level on that side. So we didn't want her to be able to jump up onto the mesh and hang there and fall or try to chew her way through or anything crazy like that. Scarlet loves to climb. So we've only done the ventilation on the right side of the cage, but as you can see, Mr. BB drilled a total of 18 holes, and each hole I believe is about, I'm gonna say 1.5 inches in diameter. They're a pretty good sized hole. So there's lots of ventilation. And then we just used a staple gun to attach the wire mesh on the underneath side so that there's lots of ventilation going into the cage, but it's really solid and secure so that Scarlet has no way to get out of this cage, but it's also safe for her too. On the far right side, Scarlet has her wheel as well as one of her water bottles. And just beside that, she has one of these blue igloo houses. And I just thought the blue kind of matched the wintry theme of this cage. And just next to her water bottle, I made this cardboard cutout tree. And this is perfectly safe for her. It's just all natural cardboard. And then I had some Christmas paper that I just used to create a bit of a, like a garland onto the tree. And just below that, I created these presents. And these are just toilet paper rolls that I've cut and folded into boxes and then tied with all natural raffia. And just at the very front of her cage, Scarlet has one of these cute little tunnels, and this one has adorable Christmas themed polka dots on it. Scarlet also has this really cute penguin mug in her cage, but it makes the perfect hide because it has a nice wide opening on the front. And she also has this natural cardboard chuno, and I've just wrapped it in some snowflake Christmas paper. And it's a little tricky to see because there is some food in her dish, but she's got this really cute snowflake dish in her cage as well. I believe I got this from the Target dollar section last winter. Just beside her food dish, Scarlet also has her second water bottle. So I thought I would have some fun with the extra spare tubes that I had. So what I actually did was connect them all together but bury some of them underneath her wood shavings. And what I've actually noticed is that she's made that her new sleeping area, and I'll see her moving around in there during the day and she'll be in different positions, but she really likes this. So I think it would kind of be a really cool idea to like pick up some more tubes and do like a whole maze system underneath. I just put a yogurt drop right, oh, here she comes. Hi, Scarlet. I knew she couldn't resist a yogurt drop. So on the left-hand side of the cage, she has this mismatched kind of garland. And this was something I had made just with leftover bits and bobs of toys I had. So there's some loofah and some wooden shoes in there and some natural wooden beads. And I had just strung them together and put them on a little clip. And at the front of the right hand side of the cage, she has her Hideaway House. And this house actually was her favorite sleeping spot, but she's since moved to the tunnels. And just in the very back far right hand corner, she has one of these natural seagrass nest tunnels. And you can see her tubes continue up, right up to her second level. And this level is very similar to the levels in her previous cage. We've just created a nice little ledge here, and I filled it with aspen shavings just like the first level. And this level doesn't have too much going on. We do have this other mug. This one is an adorable Santa Claus one. And just in the far corner, I've put one of these tree trunk hides, but I'll show you. This is actually where her tunnels come up. So Mr. BB used that same circular drill punch, and it was the perfect size for her tunnel to come through. And then what actually happened was putting the stopper on the top of the tunnel was perfect. It's just big enough that it holds it perfectly in place. So we thought that was kind of a cool way to snake the tunnels up, and it also means that it's nice and secure in there. Scarlet also has this multi-level hammock, and this one's in a really cute ho 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 fleece print. So I'll just give you one final look at her cage. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed Scarlet's first official tour of her new home. I am so happy with how her new home has turned out, and I think Scarlet's pretty happy with it as well. I hope that everyone is having an excellent holiday season and has a very happy new year as well. Thanks for watching. Bye!